Hello, creatures of the internet, and welcome. Today we're going to be playing a game I found on itch.io. It looked kind of lovely. It's actually a browser game, but it goes full screen, and its name is Containment. This is how it opens up. There's no start screen, but I really like the art, and I like the idea. The idea is you wake up in a hospital bed, and you don't know what's going on. You have to figure it out, and there's 2 endings and 1 epilogue, so I'm excited. Let's go. There is no music, so editor's going to have to throw in some music here for us. Let's see. Your throat feels dry and scratchy. You are lying down in what feels like a hospital bed. The thin sheet scratching against the skin of your legs, like dry paper on more paper, making this odd, ghostly rustling sound that echoes in the plastic bubble that surrounds you. Oh, that's weird. That seems very dream. I mean, I would probably yell, so we're gonna do yell. Hello? What is that face? Hello? You strain your ears, waiting for a reply. Nothing happens, but you hear the ghostly echo of your own voice bounce against the white walls. The heart monitor beeping tonelessly, incessantly, like a countdown. Your throat feels very dry. So does the chafed skin around your wrists, which you notice are bound along with the rest of you. It seems quiet. You are alone in this room. You're not quite sure how you got here, and you're not quite sure what to do next. Are you sick? Hurt? Dangerous? Why do they have your limbs restrained? Yeah, that's definitely... Have we been fucking kidnapped? Try to remember what you were doing before this, or where you were. Your heart stops for a second. Do you even remember who you are? You're feeling panic rise out of your throat like an animal trying to claw its way out. Breathe. You gotta breathe. Panicking won't help you here. Yes! Okay, I love this art. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You open your mouth to yell, but then pause to get a hold of yourself. Breathe. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Your mind seems to settle a bit. Prioritize. Okay, I kind of like that they actually broke it down. It wasn't just you snap out of it and you calm down. Like, that's an actual exercise. Like, that is a good way to make yourself calm down. Oh, that's really cool. Okay. Observe the room. 'Cause I don't think you could jump to trying to escape. I feel like you'd have to observe your surroundings. Observe the room. You look around again frantically. Maybe there's something in the room you haven't noticed yet. Your eyes wander towards the door. The lights continue to shift in the corridor. You think you can hear footsteps, but you're not sure if they're near or far or coming or going. You're not sure how you're going to get their attention. Yelling seems futile. In fact, everything seems futile until you get out of these restraints. You're fairly certain that if they're smart enough to keep you in restraints, they'd take precautions against leaving any sharp objects laying around. Your cursory glance around the already too familiar room leads to nothing. There's no sharp metal or cutting object you can see. Looks like it's just you and your body. The light from the corridor suddenly shifts and glints against a panel in the wall. It looks like a button. Wait a second. Aren't most hospital rooms equipped with some sort of alarm the patient can trigger when the patient is in distress? Oh yeah, it's usually on the side of the bed, isn't it? You locate the help button and press it enthusiastically. A weight lifts from your shoulders. At least now something will happen. You hear the footsteps gathering outside your room. Though it sounds muffled from your place in this plastic bubble, muffled enough that it is difficult to tell how many people will be coming in. The door opens and you hear the plastic being unsealed and feel the breeze from the rush of air that enters the room. A tall woman in a hazmat suit enters the room with an air of somberness. She seems to be sizing you up as she draws closer to the bed. Okay. From what you can see of her face through the face shield and mask, it is all straight edges, sharp. She strikes you as someone who would be difficult to manipulate or fool. Her horn-rimmed glasses give her a no-nonsense air. You get the feeling she's in charge, and it's not just from the name tag that says Dr. Fausto, MD. You stare at each other quietly. She's not speaking first, and you're waiting to see if you'll get any sign of what kind of person you're dealing with. A minute ticks slowly by, and she hasn't budged. Neither have you, though you still are tied down. Ask why they have you restrained. Ask her who she is. Both are good questions. I mean, I feel like you don't lose with any of these questions. Ask why they have you restrained. Why am I being restrained? The doctor seems to be sizing you up as she's wondering what to tell you. Do you remember how you got here? She says. A question for a question, you think. Deflecting, but it is a good question since you don't remember. You can deflect back. Maybe you can get her to just tell you, or you could be cooperative and hope she takes pity on you or something. Okay, realistically, if this happened, being cooperative I feel like would be the best option. I honestly don't remember. I was really hoping someone could tell me. She draws closer to the bed. You were brought here for your own safety, she says. You think that she could not have made it sound more cryptic if she tried. You don't think you're a dangerous person, not to others, especially not to yourself. What would she be talking about? Ask why am I a danger? Do I joke? I feel like joking probably wouldn't be right. What do you mean for my own safety, you ask, unable to keep the incredulous note out of your voice? I'm not a psychopath or... or suffering from any urges to hurt myself. What are you saying? The doctor regales you with a cold stare, only that you were a danger to others and a danger to yourself. It is for the good of our country that you remain here, for now, until we sort out what you have been up to. What have I been up to? You repeat, incredulous. You search your mind for clues, but it betrays you with silence. I have a right to know what's going on, you say empathetically. The doctor shakes her head. Actually, you don't, and I can't confirm to anything with you until I finish running my tests. I feel like getting angry isn't gonna work. Don't you need my consent for the tests? No, she says, and the single word sends chills down your spine. These are extenuating circumstances. Her glance flicks towards the clock on the wall and she moves to leave. I must check on some things. Please stay put and don't cause any trouble. You'll have answers soon. So the government has us! The government has stolen us! Day 1, they give you a book on your second day here. You're able to read it from front to back within an hour. Day 2. One of the nurses is nice. His name is Barry. Sometimes he'll loosen the straps for you a little while you eat, but he never leaves the room unguarded. Day 3. Dr. Fausto comes back. She looks more and more haggard every day, but she still hasn't told you anything. Day 4. From the hallway conversations, you can pick out some words. It sounds scary. Something about a virus, something about you, something about a vaccine. Day number 5. Barry lets you leave the bed and pace around the room. Barry smiles kindly at you, tells you that he has to use the washroom, but you seem cool and you haven't done anything crazy, so he leaves you in the room alone. I feel like trying to escape is going to get me killed. Like, okay. I know I keep saying realistically, but genuinely, if the government in any country steals you and has you hidden in a room and they're talking about like a virus or whatever, I feel like as much as I wouldn't like being under their control, like in that room, I feel like running off, there's more danger outside of it, or they have more precautions put into place to capture your ass. So we're gonna stay put. We're gonna be good boys. We've been here for months now, maybe nearing a year. But the icy Dr. Fausto has melted a bit, and you've become friends. Because you've stayed, they managed to contain the spread and they found a cure. Oh, that's the end! Okay, so we were infected with something. I don't know what we're infected with. I don't think there's any way to... Oh, there you go. Okay, this is the game page by Dayback? I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. Wake up strapped to a hospital bed and you don't know how you got here or why. All you know is you want some answers and you have to make some hard decisions to get them. Do you stay and talk or try to great escape? What will you risk with your choices? Play through to find out. Okay, so I'm gonna play through at least 1 or 2 more times because I need to see what the other endings are like. I feel like none of this is really gonna help. The first choice is, it's a dream. Blink a few times, maybe you're still dreaming. You blink as hard as you can. You're feeling sensations you're pretty sure you can't feel in a dream. X'd out. I felt some weird ass sensations in dreams, brother. It's about now you notice that your entire body is strapped to the bed. This is odd. My man's like, this is not what I agreed to. It seems quiet. You are alone in this room. You're not quite sure how you got here, and you're not quite sure what to do next. Are you sick? Hurt? Dangerous? Why do they have your limbs restrained? You try to remember what you were doing before this, or where you were. Your heart stops for a second. Do you even remember who you were? Think about what you remember. Because I think breathing's the best option in that situation, but maybe we can remember something? You fight the rising fear. Your stomach feels like it's tying itself into knots. You open your mouth to yelp, then pause to get a hold of yourself. I didn't do breathe. Okay, your mind seems to settle a bit. Prioritize. Yell for help. The door opens and you hear the plastic being unsealed and feel the breeze from the rush of air that enters the room. From what you can see, her face, let's see, it's the same description. Ask who she is. Jesus Christ, this is not about me. Oh my God. This is not about me, she says quietly. You can feel her stare radiating at you, but you're not sure what emotion it is. You sense that you are at an impasse. She's not going to give you answers. Immovable object meets stoppable force. She draws closer to the bed. You were brought here for your own safety, she says. Oh, it's the same fucking thing. It's the same as last time. We're gonna joke. Do I get my phone call? You say half joking, but there's an edge to your voice you can't quite disguise. See your eyes crinkle in a semi-amused smile. Nothing so drastic, I would hope. Is there anything you can tell me right now? But okay, so it's the same thing. We're angry boys! This is bullshit. I'm going to sue. It may seem unfair to you now, she pauses. You hear a muffled exhale, and you're not sure if there's a note of sadness to it, or exasperation. In time, you'll understand why we have to do this. Her glance flicks towards the clock on the wall and she moves to leave. I must check on some things. Please stay put and don't cause any trouble. You'll have answers soon. Stay and wait. Okay, so they give you a book on your second day here. You're able to read it from front to back within an hour. One of the nurses is nice. Barry's an awesome dude. Dr. Fausto comes back, but she still hasn't told you anything. From the hallway, something about a virus, something about a vaccine. Try to escape. Now is your chance. You like Barry, but you also just want to go home. You slip out the door, sealing it back up behind you. You're not sure what they did to you with your clothes, but padding down the quiet hallway in your bare feet also seems more stealthy, so this might turn out okay. Duck into the room on my right. It is a supremely clean and organized office. There's a big oak desk in the middle, and notes strewn about the surface. You look at the name tag, Dr. Fausto. You see files and patient notes as you draw closer to her desk. You see the light shift from the hallway. You hear the stretcher being rolled past a closed door. Decisions. Look at the notes. Entry 1. Patient presented with the symptoms of an unknown virus. We have 2 other patients presenting with similar symptoms. Thankfully, the government funding into our contact tracing and pandemic preparedness programs have paid off. We were able to quickly mobilize and isolate the web of people at the heart of this. Entry 2. We are closing up on the identify of patient 0. One of the patients told us of a house party they attended a while back. An old friend of theirs at the small gathering just came back from an overseas trip. We have suspected patient 0 in custody. The police found them unconscious in their home in the aftermath of the party. The police were able to round up the partygoers. It seems like a small circle of close friends, thankfully. Maybe we can stop this before it gets too big. Patient 0 doesn't seem to remember where they traveled to or what they were doing for the past few days. This does not bode well. If the patient came into contact with others, we need to find out and act quickly. You look at the journals in your hands, a sinking realization settling into your bones. It feels heavy, like lead coating your bones. Is it you? Are you carrying the virus? Could you pass it on to the others? Okay, so I want to see if anything happens if you choose to go back or if you choose to escape. So we're going to choose to go back and see what happens. You've been here for months now, nearing a year. You've melted a bit, became friends. Because you stayed, the managed to contain, found a cure. The end. No! Fuck that! I want to try what happens if you escape. I have to know. I have to know! The only thing I don't like about this game is that there's no music. We didn't just try to escape. You're fairly certain at this point you weren't a spy or an assassin or an escape artist. Whoever you were, you did not have the experience or muscle memory that you can call on to help you get out of these straps. Wiggle yourself out. You take a deep breath, well, as deep as you can anyway, since the strap is restricting how much your diaphragm can expand. You brace yourself and shake against the restraints, doing what looks like a combination between a dolphin kick and the worm. It must look ridiculous from afar if anyone's watching you. Wiggle harder. You kick harder this time, and the exertion seems to shift the entire bed along with your body, but the straps don't feel any more loose than they were. Wiggle one last time. You take another deep breath and start to rock yourself back and forth. You can feel the tendons in your neck straining with the effort. You're starting to sweat, but it feels like you're starting to get some slack in the restraints. The bed is rattling with your efforts. Wrinkling your nose and trying to shake off the sudden stinging, throbbing pain in your cheek where it made contact with the floor, you take stock of your surroundings again. We hear a cacophony of footsteps begin, rustled into the action because of the noise you made, no doubt. Yell for help. You shout at the top of your lungs, but it comes out strained because you're now hanging upside down against your restraints. Help! I hurt myself! You hear footsteps drawing closer. The tempo is quick. It sounds like they're coming towards you in a hurry. You see her feet first, since your face is pressed against the ground. They are clad in clogs and utilitarian. You decide not to speak until spoken to. You're not sure why you're here after all. Hey there, she says. Her voice sounds warm and kind, like that of your favorite teacher. The kind of voice that immediately removes any edge you feel. There's a silence. You stare at her feet. They are no longer moving. Let us get you back up first, shall we? She says to you, calmly and nonchalantly, like this isn't her first time finding a patient who has flipped themselves over. Okay, you say, somewhat reluctantly. It's not that you enjoy being down here, you just really want to know what the heck is going on. You hear her bark out some orders in a very authoritative voice, and more feet shuffle into the room. Suddenly you're being righted, and it leaves you a bit lightheaded. It's a dizzying experience to be righted while strapping to the bed, you think. Somewhat uncomfortable with how powerless you feel as you notice 2 buff-looking male nurses in hazmat suits and sharp-eyed woman now regaling you with a stern stare and what you imagine to be pursed lips. From what you can see of her face to the face shield and mask, it is all straight edges. Okay, so it's the same. Yep. Okay, try to escape. We're escaping, bitch. Look into the room on your right. Look at the notes. Escape, bitches. You run down the hallway. Your heart is thundering in your ears. There's a sound like roaring water building pressure inside your skull. You can't stop to look behind you. Doors ahead of you. You can see the big red exit sign hanging over the doors. You can see trees outside and light and cars and leaves. You burst into the open air. Sliding automatic doors hiss shut behind you. Your feet almost hurt from touching the pavement. Hot from the summer sun. You breathe in and deep. Is this what freedom smells like, you wonder? With wonder, you're not sure you ever appreciated it. There are alarms blaring behind you now. You start to run. It's time to go home. Epilogue! It is quiet again. It is cold. You walk around alone outside. You haven't seen anybody for kilometers. You have passed through one ghost town after another. Cars snowed in on the streets, and houses with empty windows gazing soullessly at you. There's no sound of children, no sound of civilization. It is so quiet. A gentle but chilly breeze hits you in the face. There is a rustling noise, and a newspaper drifts slowly by the snow like tumbleweeds. You bend over to pick up the wilted, half-frozen piece of paper. Your eyes gaze the headline, Patient Zero escaped from quarantine, releasing virus that killed millions. Damn! That's not... Oh, wow, okay. Alright. Fine, game. Hit me with some reality. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Okay, that was a dope little story game. I don't know if those first two endings counted as two endings or if that was the ending before the epilogue. I don't know. But I think we explored just about all we can explore with this game. That was really fucking cool. It was kind of heavy considering everything going on with the C virus. Yeah, this is a really good game. This is really dope. Shout out to the dev. What did you think of the game? My biggest complaint is the fact that it doesn't have music, but that might just be a thing that can't happen because it's a desktop game. I'm not sure how the coding for all that works. That's gonna be that. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like. It'd mean the world to me. Till next time, friends. Bye. Water.